Now is the best time to start investing, but nobody seems to tell you what exactly should you be buying. What are the best investments you should be making right now, so that a few years from now, you will end up making a lot of money and won't be poor like the vast majority of people. In this video, I want to explain why gold is one of the best investments somebody can possibly make today, because the price of gold is about to explode. Now, recently or last week, the price of gold has crashed by over $1,000. And that led many people to believe that, well, this is the end of gold. If the gold price has crashed, why would you believe that it is going to recover? But the price of any asset never actually rises in a straight line, but rather there are fluctuations. So if you zoom out and look, you will see that there has been a lot of fluctuations in the past where there has been short crashes in the price of gold. But the price of gold very soon is going to cross $10,000. So if you're going to buy gold at about $4,000 today, you are going to make a lot of money. Especially if you're an average person who doesn't actually understand much about investment and you want to know one good investment, then it's going to be gold. Here's why. You see, the price of gold is always denominated in the US dollar. And that means that we measure the value of the dollar exclusively in the US dollar. So if you want to predict the price of gold, there are two most important factors that you should be paying attention to. That is devaluation of the dollar and the faith in the US dollar. So if we can actually predict that there is going to be any kind of devaluation of the dollar, especially massive devaluation in the foreseeable future, that is going to lead to a lot of loss in faith in the US dollar. And that means that the dollar will lose its value. Before the war in Iran started, or the war with Iran, the United States had about 15 to 20 years to continue having the global dominance over the world, especially with the help of its allies. So the US economy is the world's largest economy, but the United States has very important allies. This is the UK, the European Union, Australia, and Japan. And all these countries altogether represent almost half of the global economy. So if they can actually choose the United States and will continue using the dollar as the global reserve currency, the United States still had a very long shot to stay the most powerful country, at least economically, for the next 20 years. But now, since the war in Iran has started, Donald Trump basically accelerated de-dollarization. And this war in the next year or two is going to destroy the dollar as the global reserve currency. In fact, we are headed into a world where it's going to be multi-reserve currencies. And that is going literally to happen by the end of Trump presidency. I'm not talking about something that will happen 20 years from now. Literally, the next president of the United States will find himself in a situation where the dollar is no longer the only reserve currency. And that's because the United States has lost the war before even this war started with Iran. I will get a lot of criticism for saying something like this, but my job is not to tell you what you want to hear. My job is not to cheer for one country or another country. My job here is to tell you the truth so that you can take this truth and make a good investment decision for yourself. Because the point of this channel is me sharing with you financial information, financial perspective to make good financial decisions and not to tell you what you want to hear. So this war was lost before it even started, because a war for the United States is, first of all, is a financial war. So while Iran on the other side is actually fighting for its survival, the United States on the other side is actually fighting to keep its dominance. And that means that the United States cannot afford casualties. And this is going to be purely financial war. The US is going to raise money and fight this war. So the first question we have to ask ourselves is that, how much money can potentially the United States raise money to fight this war? And that will tell us the answer, how much the dollar will be devalued, so that we can actually predict the price of gold. Do you see the logic and the sequence? So the US starts the war with $39 trillion of debt. The total size of the US economy is about $30 trillion or $31 trillion. The total amount of debt is about $40 trillion. And the US debt is growing faster than the US economy. So the United States is already in a very bad position to start any kind of war. Doesn't matter which country that is. Secondly, the United States is paying about $2 trillion in deficit. That means that the US government is spending almost $2 trillion more money than it's receiving from taxes. Let's simply take last year. Last year, the US government received from taxes about $5.2 trillion. So that includes everything: payroll taxes, income tax, sales tax, corporate tax, you name it. However, the government has spent almost $7 trillion. And finally, last year, the government has spent about $1 trillion in interest payments. So that money is spent simply to prevent bankruptcy. So I want to ask you a question. Imagine you have more debt than all of your net worth. Imagine you are actually spending $2 trillion more than you're actually earning. Are you in a good position to start a war on another part of the world that is going to be extremely expensive? So by looking at these numbers alone, you can already do the math. You can mathematically predict how long the United States will be able to fight this war. And there is going to be a certain point where this war is no longer going to make financial sense, because the United States will have to choose: go broke today or keep fighting the war. Or no, keep fighting the war and go broke, or stop the fight and save yourself. And how do I know that? So the longer this war is going to continue, the more there is going to be pressure from the US allies. So the United States today is leading the world, not just because it is the United States, but the United States has a coalition of countries, just like I told you. It consists of Japan and the European countries. And these economies thrive when there are low oil prices. It is fundamentally important to have low oil prices so that factories in Japan, South Korea, and Germany and the UK can actually manufacture anything. And now the Strait of Hormuz is closed, which means that Japan is not getting 95% of its oil. So basically, in 6 months from now, Japan is literally going to be devastated. The same thing will happen to the European Union, the UK, and South Korea. So that is going to force the United States to have a ground invasion. So I believe for a fact that there is going to be some kind of ground invasion, whether it's going to be military special ops, whether it's going to be a full invasion, but sooner or later there are going to be troops on the ground. Those troops on the ground will have a lot of difficulties, and the United States will have to send even more troops, and the cost of the war is going to skyrocket every single day. So if we were expecting before this war started a $2 trillion deficit this year, then I assume that if there are going to be ground troops, which is going to happen, the total deficit by the end of this year will be probably about $2.7 or $2.8 trillion. And next year, it's even going to cross $3 trillion. What does that mean? The United States is about to face a debt spiral or a debt trap. What's the problem with that? Why can't the United States simply borrow money and just fight this war for as long as it's required? There is simply one problem with this strategy, is that there is literally no one who can actually buy so much of the US debt. You can issue that debt, but who is going to buy that debt? Let's look at a few countries. China is not going to do that. Japan no longer can afford more debt because there is no oil that is coming from Middle East. European countries are not ready or don't even have the means to buy that much of US debt. So basically, the US debt from this year onwards, when you are going to see the ground invasion, is going to rise so fast that there is literally no one who can actually buy that debt. But if there is no one who can buy that debt, then you're going to go bankrupt. And that's why the lender of the last resort is going to step in. And that is the Federal Reserve of the United States that can print money. So the Fed is going to start quantitative easing and will start buying that debt from the US government, because the job of the Federal Reserve is to sustain the US economy. And that will be the only way to save the US economy. So when that is going to happen, I want to ask you a very simple question. What that is going to do to the value of the dollar. So we can right now already mathematically predict that we're about to face a massive devaluation of the dollar very, very soon. That could literally happen by the end of this year or maybe beginning of next year. When there is massive devaluation of any currency, investors start to lose faith in that currency. So after the 2008 financial crisis, when the United States introduced devaluation, a lot of other nations began losing faith in the US dollar. And every single time the US government did that, the faith in the US dollar was evaporated, which is why your dollars today can buy a lot less things than your dollars in the past. So if we know that in the foreseeable future there is going to be so much devaluation of the dollar, and we know how the price of gold works, then we can easily predict that the price of gold is going to spike very, very soon. Now, there is one problem also. The problem that a lot of people don't talk about, that there is no replacement for the US dollar as the next reserve currency. When the world moved from the British pound to the US dollar as the global reserve currency, the United States was ready to accept this status because the US economy was already the world's largest economy, it was the world's largest manufacturing country, and it also had open markets for the world to invest in the United States. But now imagine for a moment if tomorrow the United States is going to lose all of its trust. What is going to happen to the reserve status? Which country can step in and take the status of the global reserve currency? China? The European Union? None of these countries are actually ready to do that. None of these countries are actually ready to take that responsibility. They simply don't have the financial means to do that, which is why we're actually moving into a multi-reserve currencies. So instead of simply having the dollar as the only global reserve currency, we will have multiple currencies, from the Chinese yuan to the Japanese yen to the euro in the European Union. But among these currencies, the dollar is going to be one of the reserve currencies. It's not a currency, but rather it is going to be a reserve that central banks across the globe are going to hold to keep their currencies as a reserve currency. So we can expect over the next 12 months central banks to continue massively buying gold. And all of that demand is going to massively shoot the price of gold in the foreseeable future, which is why I'm 100% confident that the price of gold will continue rising. And the crash that we saw last week is a temporary crash. So if you want to know how I buy my gold, if you want a step-by-step instruction on how to start investing in gold, but most importantly, if you want to capitalize on this crash and make sure that by the end of this war, you are going to be really, really rich, then join the Investing Academy. The link is in the description of this video.